Hey everybody, I'm Storm Shield meteorologist Jason Myers. It is Wednesday, June 18th, and yesterday saw a lot of tornadoes once again. In fact, according to the SPC, the Storm Prediction Center, 31 tornado reports yesterday, and they spanned a great distance, all the way from Montana into Nebraska, South Dakota, Iowa, and even Michigan. One was spotted, and all of these did at least a little bit of damage. No word yet on the number of injuries, but did cause quite a bit of damage. Wind was a serious issue in the state of New York. Look at that. Look at all those wind reports. And hail was less of a threat, but it spanned from Montana all the way into Wisconsin. And today we're looking at even more of those thunderstorms. The severe weather threat today could affect 65 million people, and it spans a great area. In fact, the SPC right there is their slight risk. I'll get to that in just a moment, but we're dealing with a little bit of severe weather this morning. Some of these storms from Minnesota and Iowa all the way through Wisconsin and Michigan have been spawning some severe thunderstorm warnings and watching some development in parts of Montana, North Dakota, and South Dakota this morning. But we'll see more development, especially in this general region here where Montana, the Dakotas, and Wyoming meet. We're going to see more development once again. Let's get right back to those risks, shall we? And just a big area. Yesterday we spanned from Montana all the way to eastern New York. Today it looks like we're in the Dakotas all the way south into southwest Texas, and then that threat expands eastward. It looks like into Iowa, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, Pennsylvania, almost to the east coast once again. It looks like hail and wind are going to be our biggest threats. The threat for hail is limited mostly to the Dakotas and Nebraska. It starts to creep into Minnesota and Iowa right there. Wind is also a threat in the same general region, but also in parts of the Midwest as well. We have that 30% risk for some strong winds from Chicago to Pittsburgh. So Fort Wayne, Indiana, Columbus. It looks like even some of the Cleveland suburbs, you're going to be affected by this. Lima, Ohio, Mansfield. A lot of area affected by those strong winds, and in the Dakotas and Iowa, Des Moines, Iowa, Sioux City, Aberdeen right there, Bismarck, all in that could be affected by some strong winds. As for tornadoes, that's mostly going to be limited, it looks like, to South Dakota, Nebraska, and Iowa, a relatively small region. But these storms, like I said, they're already firing, and we'll see them firing again later in the afternoon and the evening. Take a look at the forecast models right here, and this is starting the late morning. You can see those showers and storms. We have a big low pressure system right over Nebraska. Behind it, we're seeing that development as well. We head through the day, and those storms continue to move east through the Midwest right there, and we start to see some storms developing over the Dakotas and eastern Montana later this afternoon and this evening, and we could see a few more refiring in parts of Michigan as well. But the reason we're continuing to see this pattern is not a lot is moving in the upper levels of the atmosphere right now. We put, this is the 500 millibar levels. These are about halfway up through the atmosphere. Big area of low pressure. It's just a closed low. It's not going anywhere. It hasn't gone anywhere most of the week, and it just continues to spin over Idaho, Montana, Wyoming, and we see a lot of development out ahead of this, and that's why we're seeing this once again today. But all in all, it looks like the biggest threats are going to be wind and hail once again, but tornadoes definitely can't be ruled out. And the severe weather threat today is could affect 65 million people. That's a lot of people at risk. So everybody needs to download Storm Shield. That way you can be safe. If severe weather does strike, it will only alert you for your exact location. So it's not going to give you a warning for Montana if you're in Ohio or vice versa. It's only going to give you that warning if you are in line of that storm, so that way you can take cover in plenty of time. Be safe today. We have a big area under that severe weather risk, so be safe, and I'll see you next time.